In today's news, Hurricane Lee projected to become Category 4, and travel woes continue for dialysis patients. Government requested more time for reform process, and NSC to develop national plan to address violence. Viewers, these and more stories when 284 News return.
When you're in need of air conditioning, installation, repairs, or replacement services, Markinson Air Conditioning and Refrigeration has the professional technicians, equipment, parts, and ACs to get the job done right. Markinson Air Conditioning and Refrigeration carries top brands like Daikin, Aircon, Mitsubishi, and more. We're open Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Located in Fish Bay. Telephone 340-4114 or 343-9511. Markinson Air Conditioning and Refrigeration, providing exceptional services to the British Virgin Islands since 2015.
Welcome viewers to the Thursday, September 7th edition of 284 News. I am Kamal Haynes, bringing you the latest out of the British Virgin Islands. Leading today's news, residents in the Leeward Islands and the British Virgin Islands are advised to closely monitor the progress of Hurricane Lee, which is expected to rapidly strengthen in the next 24 to 48 hours, according to the Department of Disaster Management. The DDM reminded of the tropical cyclone alert currently in effect for these areas on Thursday morning, meaning that a tropical cyclone is in the vicinity with the potential to become a major hurricane. However, no watches or warnings are necessary at this time. Hurricane Lee is expected to rapidly intensify in the warm waters of the Atlantic Ocean on Thursday and will likely become a major storm by early Friday, according to the National Hurricane Center. The latest NHC forecast discussion said Lee's maximum sustained winds could reach up to 150 miles per hour, putting it at a higher end of the Category 4 range, nearing Category 5. Lee is moving west-northwest at 12 miles per hour and is expected to continue this general motion for the next few days. Where the storm's track is uncertain beyond Saturday, but some models suggest it could turn northward and pose a threat to the U.S. East Coast or Bermuda next week. Well, Hurricane Lee is located to the east of the islands and is expected to pass to the north of the area late Friday and Saturday as a major hurricane. Large swells are likely to affect coastal areas beginning on Friday. While other specific impacts with respect to winds and rainfall depends on the proximity of its eventual path. The DDM urged residents to stay alert and be prepared for any changes in the storm's track or intensity. Patients of the hemodialysis program at the Dr. D. Orlando Smith Hospital who reside on the sister island will continue to endure the inconvenience of mandatory travel to Tortola to receive this care for the foreseeable future. But this is according to the Minister for Health and Social Development, the Honorable Vincent Wheatley, who reported to the House of Assembly this week that not only does receiving treatment at the Dr. D. Orlando Smith Hospital offer patients the most holistic care possible, but also that the establishment of a satellite unit of this program on Virgin Gorda may put patients at risk. Responding to a question posed by Leader of the Opposition, the Honorable Ronnie Skelton, Minister Wheatley said that what may appear as a simple solution presents a number of significant issues.
While on the surface a small satellite unit may appear to be a simple solution, cost, quality, scope of care, and long-term sustainability must also be factored into the equation. We must ensure that while removing the inconvenience of a boat trip, that we do not expose the patients to other risks and a reduced quality of care. Madam Speaker, we recognize the importance of this service to the residents of Virgin Gorda, and the BVI Health Service Authority will be tasked to review the matter. We will ensure that cost, safety, sustainability, and the level of service required for our peculiar patient demographic are all taken into account while we review the matter and determine the best course of action.
According to figures presented by the minister, between 2017 and 2023, a total of 130 patients accessed dialysis services at the Dr. D. Orlando Smith Hospital. Of these patients, 18 resided in Virgin Gorda. As it currently stands, 49 patients are enrolled in the hemodialysis program, but 10 of which reside in Virgin Gorda. But the minister explained that previous reviews and studies conducted on the possibility to establish a satellite program in Virgin Gorda raised concerns surrounding the cost, long-term sustainability, and the quality of care possible through the smaller unit.
The matter of offering a renal replacement therapy to Virgin Gorda residents has previously undergone a review and study. Pre-COVID-19 initiation, costs revealed a high setup cost with concerns for long-term sustainability and maintenance of quality of care in a small satellite unit.
He went on to laud the quality of care currently delivered at the Dr. D. Orlando Smith Hospital, adding that care at that site offers patients access of a better range of care.
Madam Speaker, the larger hospital environment allows sharing of overhead, and the proximity to the hospital improves access to other services for these complex patients. Madam Speaker, all dialysis patients live longer than the average 5 to 10 years commonly seen in North America, with survival rates up to 18 to 20 years being seen in the Virgin Islands patient population. Our dialysis patient population is therefore more mature in the disease course than what is seen in the average North American dialysis unit. As such, there is a greater need for specialist and subspecialist medical care and intervention, which the proximity to the hospital affords.
He said that in the interim, the Ministry for Health will continue to monitor and review the arrangements in place for the transport of renal patients and determine where improvements can be made. He also at this time relayed the ministry's concerns surrounding trends in diabetes and renal failure in Virgin Gorda.
Madam Speaker, while this may not be a comfort to those already on dialysis, my ministry is indeed very concerned about a large number of persons on Virgin Gorda who have developed renal failure, principally from diabetes. We will be working very closely with both public and private healthcare providers to improve the quality of clinical care to diabetics, with particular focus on reducing complications such as renal disease, heart attacks, and strokes. We recently launched the CARFA clinical guidelines for management of diabetes in the Caribbean and strengthened the PAHO Hearts technical package for the management of chronic disease in primary care in the Virgin Islands. We also work closely with the UK government through the UK NHS quota system, where spaces are available for persons requiring renal transport. Persons with end-stage renal disease who are currently patients on dialysis or on the way to dialysis who have an identified donor can discuss with a nephrologist to make a referral to the Chief Medical Officer in the Ministry of Health to facilitate their referral for transplant through the UK Overseas Territory NHS quota system.
Up next, government requesting more time for reform process and NSC to develop national plan to address violence. But these are more stories after a word from our sponsors.
Rashford made it. Manchester United have come from behind to lead.
At home or on the go, watch CCT Live. Download our app and carry your favorite TV shows, news, or live sports anywhere you go. Visit cctbvi.com/live, select your package, and tune in.
Looks like Johnny's ex-girlfriend finally found my car.
You've got CG. You're fine. I'll never forget the year those monkeys stole my car. They drove it over a cliff, burned the seats, and carved the words pineapple banana smoothie into all the doors. And that was after they used it for the bank heist. I don't blame them. It's their favorite smoothie, and I refuse to share the recipe.
No deductible for theft, malicious damage, and more. CG Insurance. Good like that.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. to come.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Father Jesus, that line here long like church service.
Alright, do enjoy the rest of the day. Next customer line, please. Wait, hold on a second.
Yes, Sonny boy, come, yes,
Good
Sonny.
morning.
Good morning, Sonny boy. Hold on there. You must have cut fun topic.
It's okay, I'll take care of it.
What? No man to take care of me.
How may I assist you?
Yes.
You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top-Up Turn-Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top-Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power?
Welcome back, viewers. Well, the government of the Virgin Islands is once again requesting an adjustment in the timeline for the implementation of the COI reforms through negotiations with the governor and the Overseas Territories Minister following notable issues with meeting the current deadlines. Premier Dr. The Honorable Natalia Wheatley made this disclosure on Tuesday, indicating that his government was, at this time, waiting for a response to a letter addressed to the aforementioned parties.
We wrote to the governor and the minister for overseas territories and requested revised deadlines. We should have a reply to our letter shortly.
According to Premier Wheatley, there are two main reasons for a majority of the delays that have been associated with the implementation process, the nature of which made them unavoidable.
Almost every delay that has occurred in COI implementation can be attributed to two things. The job was more complex than originally conceptualized because of hidden faults and factors, or resources are limited and must be prioritized in an atmosphere of competing projects and daily work. Our shared resources of legal advice, staffing, financial expertise, and technology have been challenged. And while they have stepped up to the plate and met the issues head-on, delays have been inevitable. Madam Speaker, we press on regardless to fulfill the vision, and we're grateful for all the efforts which have been made in this reform process.
The Premier noted further that the foundational document for this process, the framework for the implementation of the recommendations of the Commission of Inquiry report and other reforms, was also a significant factor. He lamented that the process to create the framework was rushed to avoid possible constitutional disruption, giving wake to a rushed process on which very high expectations have been placed.
The process to create and agree a framework was rushed to avoid constitutional disruption, and the process of implementation is being hurried along with the expectation that the reform work will be of exceptional quality and be able to take root. Even in nature, it is impossible for a sapling that will grow into a large, long-lasting structure to take root in minimal time. We have to do this process properly and with proper thought, consultation, planning, and understanding. We cannot do it in a rushed, half-baked manner that will only increase the erosion of values and the number of issues that we are facing now.
The National Security Council is actively developing a national plan to address violence in the British Virgin Islands. Premier Dr. The Honorable Natalia Wheatley, who sits on the NSC, made the announcement during Tuesday's sitting of the House of Assembly. Well, he said the plan is expected to be comprehensive and includes non-traditional methods of tackling crime.
The drafting of this plan has already commenced. Once it is finished, of course, it will be brought to the National Security Council and on to Cabinet, and then it will be laid on the table of the House of Assembly. And we will ask all parties involved to put hands and hearts together in this fight against crime in our territory.
Premier Wheatley also listed some of the non-traditional methods that will be undertaken once the plan has been implemented.
Well, we just mean that, of course, we'll take strategies to reduce crime and violence with strategies such as education, youth programs, helping young persons find jobs, conflict resolution, reducing some of the causes which ultimately lead to crime. In addition to, of course, the more direct traditional approaches of that the police force would use and other law enforcement agencies would use in addressing crime.
As recently as Monday, the territory recorded another gun-related crime following the murder of 26-year-old Azim Yonas, who was shot while in the area of Longbush, Tortola. Premier Wheatley said he is saddened by the continued gun violence and sent his condolences to all of the families who lost a loved one to gun violence.
I'm very disheartened every time I see an incidence of gun violence in our community. And Madam Speaker, my thoughts and prayers are with the family of the young man who recently lost his life, as well as all the other families who have lost lives to gun violence. And yes, as a member of the National Security Council, this remains an urgent and critical concern for myself.
Up next, VG Airport reopening delayed and VI Alzheimer's leads in activities for September. With these stories, when 284 News return.
Got it. At VI Motors, we've got it. All your vehicles, we've got it. All your auto parts, we've got it. Everything you need, we've got it. We've got oil, it's stock. We've got batteries, it's stock. We've got tires, it's stock. Even brakes, yes sir. Yes! VI Motors, pioneering the automotive industry in the Virgin Islands since 1966 with leading brands like Toyota, Chevy, and Honda. We even do custom orders. We have all the top brands in automotive parts as well, so you know you're getting quality. Come visit us at Duff's Bottom, Tortola. Go to our website at vimotors.com or just call us at 494-2496. Remember, VI Motors, we've got it. All your vehicles, we've got it. All your auto parts, we've got it. Everything you need, we've got it. We've got it.
That's out. That's 6. That's out.
With great service and fast claims response, we're like a home match that isn't played at your actual home. CG Insurance. Good like that.
My turn. Oh, come on, guys.
Looks like Johnny's ex-girlfriend finally found my car.
You've got CG. You're fine. I'll never forget the year those monkeys stole my car. They drove it over a cliff, burned the seats, and carved the words pineapple banana smoothie into all the doors. And that was after they used it for the bank heist. I don't blame them. It's their favorite smoothie, and I refuse to share the recipe.
No deductible for theft, malicious damage, and more. CG Insurance. Good like that.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Welcome back, viewers, and thank you so much for sticking with us. The reopening of the Virgin Gorda International Airport has been delayed until Tuesday, September 12th due to Hurricane Lee. The managing director of the BVI Airports Authority, Mr. Kurt Manal, informed the traveling public of the delay in a media release on Wednesday, September 6th. What the release said, and I quote, Mr. Manal said maintenance works on the airport were scheduled to be completed on September 6th, with a reopening on Thursday, September 7th. But that is now delayed as the territory is currently monitoring an active weather system. But the managing director said a decision was made to delay the reopening until the system departs, and a thorough inspection of the new surface will be undertaken ahead of the reopening on Tuesday, end quote. Aminal thanked the traveling public in Virgin Gorda for its patience and cooperation as the BVI Airports Authority seeks to uphold its motto of safety is our #1 priority. Persons with queries or concerns regarding the closure are asked to contact the BVI Airport Authority's Operations Department at telephone number 394-8000 or via email at ops@bviaa.com. A founding director of the VI Alzheimer's Association, Ms. Edna Williams, in a recent interview with our Ron Grant, spoke about the month of activities promoting awareness surrounding Alzheimer's and dementia. In her account, some 188 persons to date have officially been diagnosed as having dementia and suspects the number is much higher. However, persons need to come forward to be documented.
I think people are still afraid of the word dementia. It's one of those things that most people nowadays are afraid of it because there's no cure.
Okay.
So they're afraid to say the family member has dementia, but we need to come out. People need to come out and say this is happening to them, because it's only then by having that data, by having those numbers, that it can drive government to develop policy and services for that population. Because we need the data.
Now, you mentioned data, and I remember in previous conversations, we've spoken about that. Where are we in the territory on a national level with having accurate data as it pertains to Alzheimer's and dementia? Is there data?
We have some data. It's not the full gamut of data that we would like to have. What we do have, we were able to get from the National Health Insurance, and basically utilizing the various dementia codes. And to date, we know that there are 188 persons who have been diagnosed through their doctors with dementia. But of course, there's a lot of people who are out there who are undiagnosed.
Understood.
And those who are diagnosed are usually in their mid to late stages.
Okay.
So those persons in the early stage, where there's early notice of forgetting or memory issues, are not being diagnosed, or who are having difficulties navigating their everyday life or even reading and comprehending. They're not necessarily getting diagnosed at this stage.
Apart from the stigma surrounding Alzheimer's and dementia, Williams spoke about the connection of dementia to non-communicable diseases.
There is a major connection. In fact, the Lancet Commission report came out in 2020, listing the major risk factors for dementia. And this is a commission that does a lot of research.
Okay.
And in their research, they pinpointed several non-communicable diseases which are high risk factors for dementia. That is diabetes, type 2 diabetes, hypertension, high cholesterol. These are high risk factors for dementia. And these are modifiable risk factors, because if we change our lifestyle, and if we start eating healthier, and if we start being physically active and decreasing the number of persons with these non-communicable diseases, it would decrease the amount or the numbers of persons who will eventually develop a dementia. So it's modifiable.
Understood.
It's within our individual hands, at the same time with the assistance of government.
Among other things, the VI Alzheimer's Association strives to provide advocacy and support to patients and family members caring for a loved one with the illness.
We have worked with the private entities a lot. They have been very supportive to us. They have donated. In fact, they're the ones that who have donated so that we are able to do what we're doing. And we are very thankful for that. On an annual basis, we get donations.
Okay.
We go out and speak with these entities about the awareness, about dementia, and about the risk factors, and about the 10 warning signs, so that their employees can become aware of it. so that if they see these signs within their family, they can then maybe even talk about that family member seeing a doctor
Of course.
and getting early diagnosis. Because the earlier that you get diagnosed, you have the potential to slow down the process of dementia, either through medication or by adapting some of these protective factors by becoming physically active continually, by looking at your blood pressure, by managing that, by ensuring that your diabetes, your glucose count is lowered, that you interact socially. These are some of the things that you can do to slow down the progression of the disease.
Well, speaking on the month-long observation of Alzheimer's and dementia, Ms. Williams shared what some of the activities for the month will look like.
We're really pleased to have Virgin Gorda involved. In fact, this Sunday, we'll be going to the church service at St. Mary's Anglican Church, where Father Ellis Clifton is really engaging the association and the whole realm of Alzheimer's within the service. Members of the association will be part of the service. They will be speaking. It's going to be exciting. He has asked us to get some lights for him so that he can put purple lights around the church. So he has really embraced
Lovely.
the thought of getting us, the Virgin Islands Alzheimer's Association, involved with the church service. In addition, we had a successful event here in June at Totola Pier Park, which you, Ron, was the host.
Yes.
Yes, it was called The Power of Music on the Brain. It was so successful that we've not only been asked to do it again on Tortola, but we've been asked to replicate it on Virgin Gorda. And we're going to do that.
Wonderful.
On the 30th of September rather, we'll be doing The Power of Music on the Brain in Virgin Gorda. And we have a number of performers that are ready. A secret band is ready. The VG Chorale is ready. Simone Hodge is ready. Brenton Creaky is ready. Leon and the Hot Shots, they're ready. So we've got a whole group of performers ready to bring music and the power of music on the brain to Virgin Gorda. So it's going to be pretty good.
In order to help support and combat dementia, Williams spoke about advanced medication along with support from government.
That I thank you for doing that, first of all. I want to thank all those carers, all those family members, those care partners for actually doing this task, because it is a difficult and a burdensome task. But one of the things that the association is trying to do is have a support group that's called You Are Not Alone. And this way, it can provide support to those family members and carers so that they can share experience and understand more about dementia and how caring actually occurs and the process of dementia so that...
For the full interview, viewers, visit all 284 media platforms. Well, that's it for today's news roundup. Be sure to follow us for daily news updates at 284media.com and like us on Facebook at 284media and 284BVI on Instagram and Twitter. I'm Kamal Haynes, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Have a safe and enjoyable evening. Bye-bye.